My fellow citizens of the world, we now stand at the precipice of great change and turmoil. The world as we know it will never be the same. A great evil has been waiting, preparing for an opportunity for years now, but it will not wait forever. I have been tracking this threat for as long as I have been aware of it, and been formulating my very own plan to deal with this eventuality. Now, to the uninitiated, this plan may seem crazy, and that would be the natural response to hearing it for the first time. But that is only because you do not understand the threat that we face. I intend to remedy you all of this ignorance, and I will explain to you what it is I will do to save the world from this great evil. Now you may ask, what is this great evil? How do you even intend to stop it? And furthermore, why should it be you in the first place? Well, glad you asked. In a coincidentally 3-question structure, perfect for a persuasive essay. Highly convenient, and all will be answered in due time. And that time is now. I now intend to brainwash you. I mean persuade you as to why this threat is so great, how I intend to handle it, and why it should be me. Sun Tzu once said, "Know thine enemy." So now I must show you this enemy in order that you may know. Picture the most evil being that you can. Horrible mouth, huge claws, fierce wings, piercing eyes, the physical incarnation of Satan himself? Why, yes, indeed, you are picturing correctly. Behold, evil in its purest form. Look upon it and tremble. What? You think I jest? No, indeed, chicken is the purest form of evil on this planet, with the possible exception of glitter. But the threat posed by glitter is less pressing, and so we should only handle one world-ending catastrophe at a time, shouldn't we? The fact of the matter is, there is a shadowy cabal of chickens that has been plotting to overthrow human civilization for centuries now. According to paleontologist Lee Berger, there's a good chance that birds hunted humans. I too have proof of this, and I was handed down this. An ancient stone tablet depicting the fears of our ancestors. This writing is in a lost language that I was able to translate. It would seem that in ancient times, our ancestors knew the dangers posed by chickens, and so came up with an ingenious plan to prevent their uprising. They would eat them. Unfortunately, there was an unforeseen wrinkle in this plan. As it turns out, chicken is delicious. And so after several generations, people forgot why they were eating chickens in the first place. And so they decided to start breeding them in order that there may be more chickens to go around. This was a mistake. Now there are about 30 billion chickens in the world, which is almost 4 times the number of humans. The threat posed by this is immense, and that is why I have been looking for a way to solve this. Now you may be shaking in your boots, scared out of your mind about the evil plans of the chickens. Honestly, I cannot blame you. But you should not worry your pretty little heads off, as I am here and quite ready to save you all. The chickens will initiate their plan in about 12 years from now, so we have time. In that period, I will execute my very own plan. I will first gather my army of toads. I am the foremost expert in all things toad, and have gained their trust and allegiance for a while now. Furthermore, part of the reason why I have chosen toads is toads and chickens have been mortal enemies for as long as recorded history, and quite likely longer. I will gather my army in a strategically smart location where preferably there are no chickens. There are only 2 places in the world without chickens: Antarctica and Vatican City. Antarctica is too cold for chickens, is too cold for toads, so instead we shall set up shop in Vatican City. Vatican City, which according to the statistical article on the global number of chickens, has no known chickens, and being in Rome, the capital of a great empire of long past, this will greatly bolster my my army's sense of power. I will likely seek the Pope's blessing upon my endeavors before sending out a message to all the nations of the world. They must join me, or they will perish at the hands of the chickens. Some will join, some will not, but the hope is that at least half the world will join me and accept my rule. Then, with the countries I have, I will begin bolstering our armies with toad-centric forces and prepare for the chicken uprising. The goal will be to do this without the chickens realizing, so most of the countries will operate as they had before, with the possible exception of them reporting to me. Once the chickens rise and inevitably fail, the world will realize just how great of a leader I am, and that I was correct the entire time. Which will cause all the nations to subject themselves under me, and making me supreme leader of all of earth. My rule will only last as long as I am alive, so you do not have to worry about some long line of emperors that progressively get worse and worse, like most empires do. My empire will dissolve right before my death, and everything will return to normal, with the exception of chickens being extinct. Now at this point, you may be thinking, I have grandiose delusions about my own self-importance. Well, let me assure you, that is not the case. In an article by The Lancet titled, "The Meaning in Grandiose Delusions, Measured Development and Cohort Studies in Clinical Psychosis and Non-General Population Groups in the U.S. and Ireland," defines grandiose delusions as the inaccurate belief that one has special powers, wealth, mission, or identity. Keyword there being inaccurate. And since I am not inaccurate, I cannot have grandiose delusions. In fact, I am one of the only people who can save us all from this. And here's why. Remember how I mentioned this stone tablet and the forgotten language that I can translate? Well, the reason I can do these things is I am a member of a powerful bloodline of chicken hunters. We are a secret society that has operated in the shadows for thousands of years now. We have been key members of every great nation throughout all of time. However, recently, we learned that the chicken's plan was coming soon. This tablet and the language written on it is a relic from my ancestors. Our family remembers the pact that was made thousands of years ago to eradicate chickens by eating them, and has seen the degradation of the world as it has lost its way. Our secret society has been planning this for as long as chickens have been planning to overthrow humanity, so we are certain of our victory. The reason I was chosen is that my family has led this secret society since the beginning and is connected to every member of the chicken killing society. Being that I was the youngest at the time when we discovered this, who had gone through initiation, I was chosen to lead us through this dark time, and it is for that reason that I will lead the world into its glorious future. So hopefully I have answered any and all questions that you might have had. Any other questions are not important and should be thrown out as mere distractions. But the chickens will be difficult, but through my leadership and with the cooperation of the armies of toads, we will see our species through this tumultuous time. All that I ask is your total submission and obedience to your new rulers. This shouldn't be that hard, as I have just presented you with what is unquestionably the best presentation given in the history of mankind. Just remember to do your part, and remember this ancient wisdom that our ancestors held dear. Eat more chicken. Thank you for listening, and I hope that you are preparing diligently for the eventual uprise of the chicken.